Hello my beautiful and makeup loving friends. If this is your first time to my channel, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Emily and today we are going to be talking all about the new makeup releases here in Pay or Stay Away. So let's go ahead and jump right on in, shall we? So I am 95% sure that this lip gloss that I just put on is beyond expired. It smells like straight crayons, and this is a Bite Beauty lipstick, so I didn't think they were supposed to smell like crayons. This is the Lush Fruit lip gloss in the shade Blackberry. Do they even still make the Lush Fruit line? I don't think so. This has to be a few years old, and I can definitely tell that this is expired, but I'm facing a bit of a dilemma here because I like the color and I like the look of it. So although I know I should throw it away, my heart is saying, keep it, keep it. I just don't think I can bring myself to throw this away. Being a makeup hoarder is no joke. So it is Monday and you know what that means. It is that time of the week again where we go through all of the new makeup releases that have been announced for the week. And because we are starting to get very close to the holiday season, there are so many releases that I literally cannot keep up. But let's go ahead and jump right on into the new makeup releases that I wanted to talk about for this week. There's a new brand at Sephora called Kaja. Now, I'm not sure if they're a K-beauty brand or if they're just a brand that's trying to like go for the K-beauty aesthetic and they're an American brand. I'm not 100% sure. But they are brand new to Sephora and they have released a whole range of products, and there is one that stuck out to me in particular. And that is the Cheeky Stamp Blendable Blush. These are available now on the Sephora website and they are $24 each. These come in 4 different colors: Dusty Rose, Dusty Mauve, Soft Coral, and Cool Raspberry. So blush is always exciting for me, but for some of you guys out there, I'm sure you're thinking, okay, whatever, it's blush. What's so exciting about this? Well, this blush is unlike any other blush that I've seen on the market thus far. This is a stampable blush. So basically one side of the product is the actual blush itself, which is a kind of liquidy cream product, and the other side of the blush is a little stamper. So you're basically just supposed to use the stamper, get some product up on it, and then pat it onto your cheeks and basically stamp blush right on the apples of your cheeks. Which sounds terrifying at first because if you end up stamping on too much, you're gonna end up with clown cheeks. Or if the product isn't super blendable, you're gonna end up with clown cheeks. But I watched some reviews on this product and from what I can tell, these are very sheerly pigmented, but you can build them up, which is nice. So basically once you stamp it onto your cheeks, you have a little bit of wiggle room to be able to blend these out before they set down and dry. So you can basically just take your fingers, pat it out, take a beauty blender, pat it out, and it blends into the skin wonderfully. From what I've seen, I haven't tried these yet. The shades that they brought out are absolutely stunning. Now, they're not necessarily the most unique shades in the world, but I think that they brought out a pretty decent range for their first go at Sephora. But the most exciting thing about this product, in my opinion, is that the little stamper is in the shape of a cute little heart. I know it's dumb, but I think it's cute. The actual packaging itself is also in the shape of like a little macaroon cookie, so I really like the aesthetic of it. I like the aesthetic of the whole brand so far, and this is just one of the products that was really calling to me when I was looking at the brand. I definitely want to pick one of these up during the Sephora VIB sale because this is just my kind of thing. I am obsessed with blush, I am obsessed with cutesy things, and I'm obsessed with all of these colors, so I am definitely gonna be grabbing myself one of these. The next new makeup release that I wanted to touch on today is by Miss Rihanna Fenty. This is the Killawatt Foil Freestyle Highlight Palette. This is available now and it retails for $54. So when I first saw this palette, I thought, there's no way anyone can use those as highlighters. There's a really deep blue one, a purple, a red, but I don't necessarily think that this is meant to be used only as highlight, even though it's marketed that way. The Killawatt Foil formula can be used either as eyeshadow or as highlight, so I think that this palette is probably meant to be used as both, and I think that's why Rihanna included some of these more extreme shades that wouldn't normally be what most people would go for. I think it's because you can use some of these as highlights and you can use some of them as eyeshadows. Kind of like a 2-in-1 palette, which is nice. Now when I look at this color scheme, I automatically think of cold winter days. We have so many different blue hues in there. We have some beautiful kind of rusty red tones, and there's a gorgeous purple, and I really like that iridescent white, of course. And one thing that I think you could probably do if you wanted to go for a little bit crazier of a highlight, but you didn't want to have just straight blue on your cheeks, is that you could mix in some of that iridescent white with the blue, or with the red, or with the purple, and you could basically make it a bit more wearable, if you will. I know most people aren't really going for a blue highlight, so I think that it's nice that she put in that beautiful iridescent white highlight because you can basically mix it with any shade that you have in the palette. Now, I am a lover of pinks, purples, warm tones. So this palette doesn't really speak out to me, so for that reason I'm going to be skipping over it. But if she, like in the summertime, drops a bronzy, pinky, like gold type of palette, oh my god, I will pick that up in a freaking second. But I can admire this beautiful icy kind of blue toned palette because I think it's really unique, and I actually really like the aesthetics of it. I just don't really think it would be good for me. So the next new makeup release isn't really a makeup release quite yet. It's more like a sneak peek, but I'm so excited that I wanted to talk about it now. And this is the Dominique Cosmetics Berry Palette. This is coming soon, and we don't have a date or a price or even the overall look of the eyeshadow palette itself yet. We've basically just been shown some funky geometrically shaped pans of eyeshadows, but Kristen Dominique of Dominique Cosmetics has confirmed that this is going to be a berry toned palette. Now, I am putting all my trust in Kristen right now. I believe in her. I think she can bring us a beautiful multicolored berry palette. I believe that she can bring us something that is different and unique to the market, and I have faith in her that she will not just give us a bunch of browns with a few pops of wine and berry tones. Please, please don't do that. Please give us actual berries and purples and pinks, not browns. Now, I've heard kind of hit and miss things about her formula. When she released her latte palette, everyone adored it. And then when she released her lemonade palette, a lot of people thought they would love it because they love the latte palette. Well, it didn't really work out that way because I believe there was a formula issue or a pressing issue or some kind of issue, but I have to hand it to Kristen because she really handled the situation well, and she handled it like a true businesswoman. I was very proud of her. But even though I don't know what this palette looks like yet, I can already picture in my head what a perfect berry palette would look like, and I'm hoping that just at least half of her palette looks like what I'm envisioning in my head. Then I will most definitely be picking this up. So moving right on down the line here, Natasha Denona has announced her holiday 2018 Chroma Crystal Top Coats. These are available now on Sephora and on the Natasha Denona website, and they are $28 each. They come in 2 different shades, and you can pick from either Full Metal Black or Full Metal Bronze. So I have been wanting to try the Natasha Denona Chroma Crystal Top Coats basically since they launched, and she has some duochrome ones which are so beautiful, and I want all of them but can't bring myself to purchase them quite yet for some strange reason. And then she has some more kind of safe neutral shades that look to be really beautiful, but they're just a little bit tame for me and for what I like. But the duochrome shades I have had my eyes on for so long. Now, when I first heard that she was coming out with some new crystal top coats for the holiday season, I automatically thought that she was going to come out with like beautiful berry tones and red tones and maybe even a green, you know, something that just screams holiday and something that screams festive. But I'm actually pretty shocked by the colors that she came out with. And I think that they are gorgeous, don't get me wrong here, but I don't know, I was just kind of underwhelmed by the actual color selection themselves because to me, these don't really scream holiday and they don't really look that festive, and they kind of just look like everything else we've ever seen someone release. I think that they're definitely a good addition to her Chroma Crystal line, but I just don't really understand why she didn't go for colors that represented the holidays a little bit better in my opinion and that were a bit more festive. I don't know, I just don't look at these and see holiday. I look at these and see like I'm going to the club and I need a smoky eye and I want something very metallic to make it stand out. But I kind of feel like this is a missed opportunity. I'm picturing it in my head and I can think of just the most perfect, beautiful, festive holiday Chroma Crystal top coat line, and metallic black and metallic bronze aren't a part of my Chroma Crystal fantasy here. And the last new makeup release that I wanted to talk about for this week is by one of my absolute favorite brands in the entire world, and that is Give Me Glow Cosmetics. They have announced that they are coming out with their grunge palette, which will be available on October 26th at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. So set your clock. This palette is going to be retailing for $41, and you get 9 different pans of eyeshadow, but these pans are actually a lot bigger than what we typically see in eyeshadow palettes. These are 37 millimeters, so they are literally like that big. There's a lot of product in these, but I'm sure that a lot of you guys know this already, but Give Me Glow Cosmetics is one of my absolute favorite brands. They make one of my favorite, if not my favorite, eyeshadow formula. I absolutely love their formula. I have bought so many of their singles. I have their Summer Vibes palette. I absolutely love them, and I am really happy that they are expanding their larger palettes on their website because right now they only have 2 to choose from, and they are so freaking beautiful, so I'm really happy to see them come out with more. Now, as far as the color selection goes, I'm kind of hit and miss with some of these shades. Some of them are absolutely stunning and I want them immediately, and some of them I don't want anything to do with. But I understand this is a grunge palette, so, you know, you probably already know what I'm gonna say here. I don't want the gray and I don't want the black, but I understand that this is a grunge palette, as I said. What kind of eye looks do we think of when we think of the grunge era? I think of red toned eyeshadows and black eyeshadows and everything being very smudgy and very smoky, and to me this palette really represents that. I think they did a good job portraying the grunge era without being too over the top and without being too cliche, if you will. And yes, I am old enough to know about the grunge era, okay? I know I might look 12, but I'm not. But Give Me Glow lately has come out with their single shadows, and they've basically released every single shadow that they offer in a single form, including the palettes. So I'm really hoping that that will be the scenario and the case for this. I would love to get my hands on that gorgeous warm berry, some of those beautiful metallics, that beautiful cool tone kind of camel pinky brown. I would love to get my hands on those. But there's just some shades in this palette that I know I'm not going to use, so for that reason I'm going to skip over it. And I'm sad to say that because I love Give Me Glow. But if they come out with singles in these shades, I will pick those up without a doubt. It is getting so dark in here. It was literally sunny and bright when I turned the camera on, and now it's like almost pitch black. I'm never one of those people that adjust well to when the weather starts to change, when the time starts to change, when daylight savings happens. I'm just not a person that likes change. So if I look a little bit different, that is because it is actually the next day. It is me from the future. Now I wanted to just come back on here and refilm my outro because my outro was kind of a hot mess. If you can't tell by this video, there was something definitely a little bit off, especially towards the end. So I personally apologize for that. But do you guys ever have days where you literally just go the entire day without eating just because you literally forgot to or you didn't have time to? Because that was yesterday for me. When I get hungry, I get grumpy and I get sleepy, and my outro was basically just a hot mess of me being grumpy and sleepy and hungry. I literally was so like done with filming and I just wanted food that I basically just did the bare minimum and rushed out of here, ran downstairs and made myself a giant dinner. I am like that sometimes. I'll literally go like half the day or almost the entire day without eating just because I either forgot or I didn't have time to or nothing sounded good. And I always regret it later because I always get really tired and lightheaded and sleepy. That's my own personal issue, but I wanted to just come on and refilm out my outro because it was not good with the other one. So with that being said, I really hope that you enjoyed today's Pay or Stay Away. Like I always say in my Pay or Stay Away videos, I don't touch on every single subject and not every single post that I see on Trendwood's account just because I feel like the video would be one, super long if I did that, and two, I only really like to talk about products that really get me thinking and really get me, you know, thinking about the product more than just meh, that looks okay. Because I don't want this video to just be filled with meh, it's alright, I mean it's not great, but it's fine. I only like to talk about things that really make me feel something, whether it's negative or positive. But as you guys always do, please do let me know down in the comments below, what are you going to be picking up? What are you going to be skipping over for this week? Literally, you guys keep me in the loop. I swear, you guys are always letting me know of new products and things that I haven't even seen yet. So obviously I'm not doing a very good job here, am I? But with that being said, I think that is everything that I have for you guys today. I do hope that you consider subscribing if you have not already. I am doing Pay or Stay Away every single Monday, and during the rest of the week, I got all sorts of makeup goodness happening here on this channel. So it would mean the absolute world to me if you hit that subscribe button down below. I do also hope that you consider giving this video a big old thumbs up and turning on the notification bell if you enjoy my videos and you want to stay in the loop and know when I'm posting. But I hope you are having an absolutely beautiful and amazing day wherever you are, and thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye! Doesn't my shirt totally remind you of like the early 2000s, like Paris Hilton circa 2002? It reminds me of like those fuzzy slippers that have the giant tuft of fuzz on the top of them and they're super cozy and comfortable. I miss the styles of the early 2000s. Everything was so ugly, like the shirt, but it was so ugly that it was cute, so somehow it worked.